Thank you for taking the time to learn about the resources available to help you pay for your WGU education. Let's take a look at the agenda. First, we'll talk about what financial aid is and introduce WGU's new student scholarships. Then we'll review the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, which determines eligibility for federal student aid. We'll look at how the FAFSA determines eligibility and what aid can be used for. Next, we'll explore features of WGU, like our competency-based education model, our student-centered approach, and our transfer credit policy that can help you minimize student loan debt. Finally, we'll show you that leveraging the financial aid and WGU resources available can save you time and money as you pursue your degree and help you get started on the application process. The first question to ask is, what is financial aid? Financial aid comes from a variety of sources and also in a variety of forms. In broad terms, financial aid is funding that the federal government, states, or schools give or loan to U.S. citizens or eligible non-citizens to assist in paying for education. The bullet points listed on this slide are some of the types of aid that are available to students. We'll dig deeper into the different federal programs, specifically grants and student loans, a little later. Scholarships are additional financial aid that is not provided by the federal government, but by the school you attend and/or other external sources. There are also VA and military benefits. WGU is recognized as one of the top military-friendly universities by Military Advanced Education magazine. If you qualify for military aid, please contact one of our enrollment counselors who can help you with this specialized process. In this presentation, we'll focus on the first three bullet points: grants, loans, and scholarships, as they are most relevant to the majority of our audience. Most students who attend WGU qualify to receive some type of financial aid, and 76% of students use it to pay for all or part of their education. In order to determine what financial aid options are available to you, you will need to apply. It's important to note that if you apply for financial aid, you are not required to use it. For example, if you are eligible to receive both a grant and a loan, you can choose to use only the grant in order to avoid incurring unnecessary debt. We'll discuss the difference between grants and loans a little later in the presentation. On to scholarships. This is an additional application process. WGU has many scholarships available for students. We have general scholarships that are applicable to a wide range of audiences. We have degree and college-specific scholarships for programs like nursing and teaching. There are also state-specific funds, so if you reside in certain parts of the country, there may be special scholarships or grants available to you. Scholarship offers change periodically, and new scholarships can be created at any time. Be sure to check the WGU scholarship page regularly for new offers, or talk to our scholarship team. You can apply for a scholarship 60 days before your start date and up to 60 days after your start date. Just apply, and WGU will determine your eligibility. Another common question is, how do I receive financial aid? The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid and must be completed every year by current and prospective students who are seeking federal aid. It's totally free to apply, and that single application determines if you qualify for grants, subsidized loans, and unsubsidized loans. Fill it out and indicate you'd like it sent to WGU. Once completed, your FAFSA will be reviewed by the Department of Education, DOE, who then passes your information along to WGU. Before you start your degree program, our financial aid team will use this information to determine your financial aid eligibility and make sure you know exactly how much financial aid is needed in order to cover the cost of school. Next, let's look at completing the FAFSA. Filling out the FAFSA can be an easy process. The online form at fafsa.gov guides you through the application. The FAFSA asks for information about you and your financial situation. Here's a list of documents and information to have on hand as you fill it out: your Social Security number, recent tax information, and any other documents related to your earnings. If you are military, have all of your military documentation available. Also, if you're a dependent student, you will report your own and your parents' information. Note that with some exceptions, the FAFSA may determine that you are a dependent student if you're under the age of 24 and unmarried with no dependents, even if you do not live with your parents. You must list the school name and code available on this slide. You might want to make a note of that now. If you have any questions as you're going through the process, give our financial services team a call. We're here to help. On to the next question. Who qualifies for financial aid? Most students qualify for some type of financial aid. What type of aid depends on several factors, including, but not limited to, your income and other financial resources, as well as the level of degree you're seeking. First, we'll look at federal aid in the form of grants and loans, then dive more into scholarships on the next slide. Most grants do not need to be paid back. It's free money. The Pell Grant is the most common type of grant, and approximately 40% of WGU students use it. Eligibility is based on what is called financial need, which is calculated using all of the information you use on the FAFSA, including how many family members you have and how much you earn. Financial need will be better defined a little later. Only students with a demonstrated financial need who are pursuing their first bachelor's degree can qualify for the Pell Grant. Students pursuing a second bachelor's degree or a graduate degree do not qualify. The second grant listed, the Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, FSEOG, may also be available to students who demonstrate financial need and are first-time undergraduates. The third grant, the Teacher Education Assistance for College and Higher Education, TEACH, is available to students who are enrolled in the Teachers College and meet requirements. This grant differs from Pell and FSEOG in that if certain requirements are not met after leaving school, the grant must be paid back. Next, there are two common types of federal loans, direct subsidized and direct unsubsidized. Unlike grants, loans do have to be paid back. Subsidized loans are only available to students pursuing an undergraduate degree, and eligibility is based on financial need. The government pays all accruing interest on these loans while you are enrolled in school. Unsubsidized loans are different from subsidized loans in a few ways. First, they are not based on financial need, and second, they are available to both undergraduate and graduate students. Unlike with subsidized loans, the government does not pay the interest on unsubsidized loans while you are enrolled in school. Interest on your unsubsidized loan begins accruing on the date of your first loan disbursement. Loan repayment begins after you graduate or are no longer enrolled. The interest rate varies depending on the type of loan. The fixed rate is determined based on the first disbursement date that the loan is made. Interest rates update every year on July 1st. Subsidized and unsubsidized loans have lower interest rates and are much more affordable than most PLUS or private loans. Please take note. All of the aid listed on this slide is considered federal aid, and as mentioned on the previous slide, determining eligibility starts by filling out a FAFSA. How much financial aid can I receive? This is difficult to answer without a completed FAFSA, as it depends on every individual's situation. As we saw in the previous slides, after you complete the FAFSA, the Financial Aid Department will use the information you provided to determine your financial aid eligibility. There are several factors that can affect how much financial aid a student may receive. You can see some of those contributing factors listed here. Cost of attendance, COA, is the estimated total cost to attend school. This includes costs related to tuition and fees, room and board, and books and supplies. Next is the expected family contribution, EFC. The EFC is a number generated as a result of the information you provide on the FAFSA. This number, in combination with your COA, is used by our financial aid team to determine your financial need. The financial need formula is COA minus EFC equals financial need. Some aid, such as the Pell Grant and subsidized loan, are only eligible to students who show they have a financial need. Year in college, or grade level, as well as your enrollment status at the school you are applying to, are also contributing factors to the amount of financial aid you are eligible for. What can aid be used for? Students mainly use aid to cover their tuition and fees. It's smart practice to take just enough aid to cover these two items so you don't incur too much debt, particularly if it's a loan that needs to be paid back. But you can use aid for other educational needs. If you need to replace a computer during your program, for example, or choose to purchase hardbound copies of textbooks rather than using the online versions covered by WGU's $145 resource fee. WGU wants you to graduate with little or no new debt. We are different from most universities in that we are a student-focused, nonprofit, private school committed to keeping tuition costs low. We know that borrowing may be necessary to make coming back to school a reality, but we endeavor to help you keep borrowing to a minimum. To that end, WGU charges flat-rate tuition. This means that you can accelerate your program by completing additional courses each term, and you can complete additional courses without being charged additional tuition. Plus, your resource fee covers your e-textbooks, saving you thousands by not requiring you to purchase hard copies of books. Now let's take a look at a few more ways that WGU helps you minimize your student loan debt. WGU uses a competency-based education model. The average age of a WGU student is 37. But whether you're 18 or 80, you have life experience, and this model speaks to that. You get to use your real-world knowledge to pass courses faster. You shouldn't have to study Sales 101 if you've been in sales for 10 years. The same goes for nursing, teaching, and any other field. You save money and time because we measure your learning, not the time you spend in class. Once you can prove you've learned the competencies in a course, you can move forward. Rather than holding you back, we encourage you to accelerate. Flat rate tuition helps you save money, and we are 100% online so you can study anytime you have access to the internet. You can accelerate your coursework, complete extra courses each term, and fast-track your time to graduation. On the left, you can see how the traditional model puts the professor in the center and creates competition among students to get attention from that instructor, be it in a 300-seat lecture hall or during the instructor's office hours. Plus, there's the added inconvenience of having to drive to a campus and work around their schedule. On the right, you can see that WGU's model focuses on the student. In addition to the flexibility our model provides, you are assigned a personal program mentor. This person is trained in your field, has a master's degree, and has demonstrated success. They are with you from the day you finish your enrollment to help you set goals, measure success, and assist you all the way to graduation. They talk to you weekly and act as your liaison with the university. We are very proud to offer this personalized assistance for our students. We also have course instructors assigned to each course. They change depending on which course you're in. They are the subject matter experts, like professors, who can schedule webinars or meet with you one-on-one to work on a problem. They are here to help you master the competencies required to pass a course. We also offer student services like reading, writing, and math tutoring, career development, engagement with other students, and a robust alumni network. Because WGU is a competency-based institution, we don't award degrees based on credits, but rather on demonstrated competency in the subject matter. However, if you've completed college coursework at another accredited institution, or you've completed industry certifications, we'll evaluate whether these are eligible for transfer credit. Transfer eligibility varies based on each degree program's requirements, but in general, WGU will consider courses taken and degrees earned at community colleges or universities, through online general education providers like Sophia or Straighterline, and through IT certification providers. If you do have transfer credits that meet your program requirements, they can be applied and will potentially reduce the amount of time it will take you to complete your chosen degree. It can also reduce the amount of federal aid needed to get you to graduation. Evaluation of transfer credits will occur after you've applied to WGU as part of our admissions process. As you can see, there are many resources available to help you save time and money as you pursue your degree at WGU. Be sure to apply for scholarships and responsibly utilize financial aid resources available to you. Remember that at WGU, your existing knowledge, skills, and experiences will benefit you through our competency-based model and transfer credits. WGU's student-centered approach will provide you with the support you need to be successful. To get started on your financial aid journey, visit our website, which contains a link to complete the FAFSA online. This is a great first step. If you have specific questions, call our financial services team at 1-877-435-7948. We're here to help. Thanks so much, and we look forward to welcoming you as a student at WGU.